Let me touch up my gloss. Ooh, baby. Hey, my glam girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, where we talk about all things glam and all things girly. So today we have the 3 new pieces in Huda Beauty's collection. We've got the powder, lip gloss, and the liquid blush. So I'll be showing you all how all of these products work on my face. I'll share with you my thoughts and how I feel they work for me, how I feel they might work for other complexions, and just give you my overall thoughts and whether or not I feel like these products could work for you. So stay tuned for all of that. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I truly do appreciate it. If you are new, I'd love for you to click that red subscribe button and join the Glam Girl Squad, because we love to have you. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for deciding to come back and support my channel. It really does mean a lot when you do decide to come back, watch my video, then you take it a step further and you decide to like it, comment on my video, shop through any of my affiliate links down below. All of those ways of support truly do keep me motivated. It keeps me going, and I really do appreciate you. So let's get right into this video. Okay. When I saw this collection drop, I said, now why do I want me a light lavender pinkish under eye? Why do I want it? Should this be something I desire? Is this gonna work for me? Because I'm gonna tell you, curiosity killed the cat with this one. I was really not sure how I would like these products. Number one, I have tried multiple times purchasing the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder, and every time I bought it, I always end up with the same result. The powder is too dry for me. And I'm just like, you know what? Maybe the powders are just not for me. But then I wanted to like them because people love them. I just felt like they were too dry. This color, though, got me. Okay, then we have the liquid blush, which I absolutely already love this formula. I have it in another shade. So this color I was very interested in. And then I also have the gloss in another color. Truly enjoy the gloss. So for me, I just wanted to try this particular shade. So let's start off with the details. We're going to start with the blush because that is how I started with the product. So I'll have the other products on my face linked down below, but just to quickly run through it, I started off with the Makeup by Mario foundation. I wear the shade 17 in. I have the Makeup by Mario concealer on, and this I have the shade 340. And then I feel like every time I've seen this particular powder being used, it was used on top of another setting powder. Also, I was just a little too concerned and scared to put this powder directly on my concealer. Don't ask me why. So I went in with the Makeup by Mario loose setting powder in the shade 3 Neutral Peach to initially just set the under eye, okay? I did that before we went in and actually baked with the Huda powder. But before I set my under eyes with the Makeup by Mario powder, I did go in with the liquid blush. So this is in the shade Ube Cream. These blushes do retail for $23, and they do come in multiple shades. So the shade that I purchased before is Strawberry Cream, and I love that shade. If you have not heard much about these liquid blushes, this is a lightweight liquid blush with buildable pigments and finely milled micro pearls for a soft focus, high impact glow. I love this formula because it blends really effortlessly into the skin. And as the description does say, this is a lightweight, very light pigmentation of product. However, you can build in the pigmentation. So like you've already seen me doing in the video, I applied a couple of layers of this blush because I'm a blush gal. And I love me a good blush. And let me just say, this cooler toned lavender pinkish color looks so nice against my complexion. My complexion does err along the side of it being neutral. So when I have a tan, more of my warmth comes out. When I don't have a tan like now, you see more of my neutral undertones. And I just wasn't sure because I was like, could we work with it? I for sure love the way this looks on my skin. It also helps that in the cooler months, I love to wear cooler toned makeup. So this particular color just like really fits the bill. And I also love purple based makeup and pink based makeup. So like, I'm not gonna lie, the aesthetics, this color really drew me in. But I also was like, is this going to look odd against my complexion? I wasn't sure if the green in my complexion would fare well with this, or if it was just gonna look kind of chalky against my complexion. So I was very happy with this color. I absolutely love it. Okay, so then like I said, I first went in to set my concealer with the Makeup by Mario powder because I wanted to set it with a powder that I was very familiar with, because for some reason, and since this is the first time I'm wearing the Ube powder, I am going to try this directly on concealer. I have a concern that this powder directly on top of my concealer might look not how I want it to look. So that's why I set with a powder, a translucent powder that I knew, that I was comfortable with, so I could really gauge how this powder performs. Now, if you've used this powder and you are like, Chels, I've already set it with my, like I've used this on top of my concealer, let me know. I have feelings that it might change the color of my concealer and not brighten the way that it should, because this powder, we're aiming to use it to brighten the complexion. And I feel like it might maybe turn my concealer pink, purplish. I don't know. These are just my like inexperienced concerns that I'm just putting out there. Okay, so this powder does retail for $39. This is called the Easy Bake Blurring Loose Powder in the shade Ube Birthday Cake. So this is an electric lilac with subtle pink hues for a bright and rosy look. Huda Beauty's Easy Bake Powder is like, I would dare say, a cult favorite. This is gonna mattify the skin. This does have a fragrance, and I'm not gonna lie, I thoroughly enjoy the fragrance. Let me see if I can pinpoint what it is. It smells like cake. That's what it smells like, which I think all of her Huda, I think all of her powders smell like cake now if I remember. But it does smell like cake. I will say it smells less fragrance than especially like the powders that I bought in the beginning when these powders first started getting some traction. And like I mentioned before, on my skin, I have always felt like it was too dry. I felt like because it was so dry and more of like a heavier powder, it accentuated my fine lines and wrinkles, and I just never liked how the powder looked against my skin, especially like using it to set my makeup. Let's do my infamous test. So I always need to give credit to Sir John because that's where I heard this from. He always said powders that are going to work best for the under eye area in terms of powders that will not accentuate your fine lines and wrinkles, will not be too heavy for that delicate skin under the eyes. You should be able to blow on the powder and you should see the powder float. If you blow on the powder and the powder particles immediately drop, it's too heavy of a powder to set the under eye with because it's going to pull on that skin. So let's go ahead and do our little test here. I'm going to just add a little here on my cap so we're not like wasting too much powder. All right, everybody coming in close, let's go. Okay, this powder floated. So and I'm gonna come back to this. All right, so in theory the powder is light enough where it should be light enough to be used for the under eye area. All right, so went in with my normal setting powder. I took my powder puff because I'm like, if you're gonna bake, I do know powder puffs are a really good way of applying your powder. And I didn't take a ton of powder to bake because I was like, I don't want to do the most, but I also want to see how does this bake look. So took a powder puff. I felt like I put a nice amount on this under eye and on this side of my forehead so we could see a difference. Let the powder sit for like 30 seconds and then brushed it off. And I'm just gonna say, I was like, okay, I like the way it looks. Like it didn't look like light pink lavender like how I thought it was gonna look, especially based on how it looks on lighter complexion. So when I think of the campaign for this collection and how everyone's under eye looked, I'm like, everyone's under eye looked beautiful in terms of the creators that were of a lighter complexion, but I'm like, that's not an under eye everybody's gonna want every day. Like, and not even for every glammed up event, you're gonna want that color under the eye. Against my complexion though, I feel like we do see the brightened effect, and like my concealer does not look like it's turned pink or like a lilac electric pink purplish color. I think it did what it was supposed to do. And I was like, okay. So I went and set this under eye let it sit for 30 seconds, wiped it off, and I was like, I really like how this is looking. Going back to the example of us blowing on the powder, I don't feel like, and y'all let me know, especially if you're like a Huda Beauty Easy Bake fan, I don't feel like this powder is as heavy as it used to be. Because, I mean, I would even say the last time I bought it was almost a couple years ago, because I was like, let's just try this again. Maybe it's me. And I still felt like it was too heavy. And I don't know, maybe it is just me. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. You know, user error. We're going to put that out there. But I feel like when I looked at my under eye, this did not look extremely heavy. It didn't look extremely dry. When I first applied it, I'm not gonna lie, I did feel kind of like a tightening effect. But then when I wiped it off and then I sprayed my face with the Set It and Forever Mist by D&B, like my face felt comfortable. It didn't feel tight and just like it was too much powder. I've had this face on now for just at 12 hours. Like literally we're hitting the 12th hour mark. And honey, things are still in place. I don't feel like my under eye looks crepey. Like I'll come in close so you can see it. I don't feel like it looks dry. Like we have held in place and I am like so excited. I might need to get another shade of this powder because if she did change her formula to where it's not as heavy, we can get with this formula. I don't mind a matte look under the eye and the T-zone because I honestly prefer that. And I like to keep the glow on the cheeks. So like, I am like very pleasantly surprised, not only with the color, but also the performance and how it feels. Because that was the biggest reason why I didn't like her Easy Bake powder before. It just didn't feel comfortable against my skin. I really like this. And I'm gonna say, now, is this the type of like under eye I'm gonna want every day, every occasion? I can't answer that yet because I need to see this with other types of makeup. So like right now, you know, pairing the powder and the blush together, it's this beautiful complexion of like lilac rosy tones. But I do want to see this powder paired with like maybe a neutral blush, my pink blushes, my peachy blushes. Like I said, how is this going to look directly on top of my concealer? So I will definitely update you all with my thoughts on what environments I think I would like this for. If I could just say it off the top of my head, I would more so wear this for environments when I do want a more glammed up event that I'm wearing makeup products with this color tone. That's where I see myself using this powder, but I'll keep you guys updated. Now, lastly, the Faux Filler Gloss. It's such a beautiful formula. The shade Ooh Baby is a really light pink lilac type of color. I'll be honest, I thought we were going to get more pigmentation from this because, oh, I probably cannot get to it fast enough. But the other shade that I have in this is called Sugar Baby. That has like a more pigmented light pink color. So I thought we were going to have more of a pigmented color like this. But it is a really beautiful tint of a lilac to the lips. And I paired it with the Groundwork Blooming Romance palette. I went in with the Velvet Pomade shade in this color called Bliss as my lip liner. And then added the gloss on top. And I really, really like it. This gloss is a really beautiful formula. It makes the lips look nice and plump and juicy. It doesn't have like any tingly effects to it, so it's not gonna literally plump the lips, but it gives you like that really juicy, glossy look to the lips. Don't apply too much because it will get thick on the lips, but it's very, very pretty. So I really am pleasantly surprised by this collection. I didn't know how I was gonna feel about it. My initial thought was, you're gonna like the gloss, you might like the color of the blush on your cheeks, and you're probably not gonna like the powder and just be like, okay, I tried it, it wasn't for me. But like, I'm so happy I like the powder. I think I'm the most surprised about the powder and I'm the most happiest about the powder. And then after I put the powder on, because I wanted more blush, I went in and added more blush on top of this powder. For a split second, I thought I had did too much and the liquid formula wouldn't mesh well with the powder, but we just kept tapping and blending it in and I didn't get any patchiness or anything like that. However, I would say probably don't do that because I felt like at one point the liquid might have been picking up the powder. So if I wear this again, I would just make sure to apply this liquid blush underneath the powder. And then, you know, maybe use a little bit more of this color if I want to accentuate the color on my cheeks. But so happy with this collection. Now let's get into who I think these products will work best for. When I think about the individuals in the campaign, the ones that have a lighter complexion, unless that is a look that you're going for, to me, this light, like electric lilac pink color is not going to look natural on the face. And I don't think if somebody were to wear it, that's what they're going for. So if you do have a lighter complexion and you are looking at this shade as a means to brighten, that's not what I think is gonna happen. You're gonna have more of that like lilac, purple, pinkish hue on the face, like the creators in the campaign. Like I said, I think the way that they did it looks beautiful, but obviously that's not looking, you know, transparent and natural on the skin. I heard another creator say, and I cannot, Ganya, she's a creator that I follow on Instagram. She was like, you know, for lighter complexions, I think the Cherry Blossom shade would be your actual brightening shade, and that this shade will work better for deeper complexions. So I'm very interested in seeing this complexion on more deep complexions. The creator, Tori Latisse, I will try to remember to link her video down here. She was the one that actually made me pull the trigger because I actually didn't think this was gonna look good on brown skin. And she has like a nice brown complexion. And when I saw it on her, I was like, oh, okay, this actually might work. Like, this looks good on you. So I would be interested in seeing this on even more richer and deeper complexions. I think it will actually work like more of a brightening shade the deeper the complexion goes. And I'm also interested to see this on more deeper neutral complexions and more deeper redder complexions, because I'm interested to see how does this lilac pair with complexions that have more orange in them and more red in them. My initial thought, maybe they may not go as well together, but then again, I don't know. I would have to see it because I can't visualize it. So I'm not going to say no because I can't visualize it, but I am going to wonder, and I'd love to see what it looks like. If you do have a deeper, richer complexion and you have already tried this, leave your feedback down below because I want to know, and I know it would be helpful for other people. And I would say the same with the blush. I could see this looking so gorgeous on a deeper complexion, like that electric lilac pink would just pop on a richer complexion. But at the same time, same thing. If you got a reddish underhue, neutral undertone or orange undertone, I don't know how this is going to look against your complexion. So this I was able to pick up in stores. So if this is in your local Sephora, I would highly suggest to go in and check it out. If you have a lighter complexion and like, you know, there are times where you want this beautiful lilac pink on your face, absolutely go and get it. I highly recommend it. And I highly recommend it for anybody to try, regardless of your complexion, because if you think you might like it, you just might. Those are just my initial thoughts that I'm going through, where I feel like maybe yes, maybe no, depending on what you want. For me and complexions that are around my complexion, if you like this, you're gonna love it. I like this. I think it's beautiful. And like I said, this is not every day for me right now. I don't think this is every day, but this is definitely certain occasions that I could see myself, like Valentine's Day, honey. I don't know what I'm wearing yet. So depending on what I'm wearing, this could work really nicely because it's giving me, you know, that rosy lilac pinky tone that could play very well with other pink-based makeup. So I am pleasantly surprised. I do think quality-wise, the collection is beautiful. Quality is there. It's just a matter of, are these tones gonna complement your complexion, and or are these tones that you like and that you would wear? So I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Leave them all down in the comment sections. If you have good experiences with them, leave them down below. If you have not so good of an experience, leave it down below, because, you know, we learn from each other and we're able to base decisions that would work best for us based off of what we share. And if you've made it to this point in the video and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, we gonna subscribe to channels in 2025. Go ahead and click that subscribe button because we'd love to have you. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye, guys.